Ha. Yeah. Y'all know what time it is. So just sit back and relax because the show's about to start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Down to Earth Talk. I am Danny Ely, and with me, as always, even though right now I think she's driving, is Sherry. I always read what's on your text, so I'm not sure if you want me giving out the full government.
Oh, then you can call me Dawn April.
really give it out. Hey, before we start, we wanted to show you guys something cool, something that we've been working on, and it's going to be up in the top right corner over there is our new logo. Down to Earth, our new logo. So I think I should adjust our name tags and everything here so that we're a little bit matching our new logo.
Okay.
How's that look? We've gone green. You know what's funny was when I was working on the logo, one of the things that was important that we included is we've always done this idea of, for whatever reason, we've always done this thing where we've been in space and we're looking at Earth, but the show is called Down to Earth. And so we were looking at, kind of rebranding the show a little bit to be a little bit more, not necessarily earthy, but like just a little bit more focused on what we are. And we're not very big on the whole globe world thing. We're very focused on like individualism and way down to, the down to earth, right? The whole concept of down to earth. So we wanted to use something that would represent down to earth. It's why you see in that logo there, you have the tree of the microphone. It says down to earth. And then also you have the roots, because the roots are also incredibly important for us. We feel like that's a very important part of the element of our show is that we are rooted, we're grounded, and we're not necessarily with our heads in the clouds. We are on the ground with our feet in the mud. We're in the weeds, as some people like to say. And so we wanted to rebrand with that. And so this is our new rebranding. We got the tree with the microphone symbolizing the down to earth talk. So we hope you enjoy the new rebranding. Go ahead, Sherry.
Can you show it again? I didn't.
It's up in the top corner right now, but you're on a small.
Oh wait! Screen. Oh, I see it. Okay, I'm learning still. Okay, cool.
Let me see if I can do this.
I like it.
Let's see if we can do this. There we go.
Yes, look at how wonderful that is, everybody.
Right in the middle of us all there.
That's our logo. Those are my kids.
So yeah, we're excited about that. Just kind of looking at this new season that we're doing Down to Earth Talk, trying to figure out exactly what it means to us and what that looks like, what that's represented like. We will always keep Daryl at the beginning. But we probably will change even the video that is circling around the globe to something that's a little bit more on point to what we want to be presenting. So we are excited to be here with everyone today. We're excited to bring you another episode. The conversation last week went a little long, so we decided to carry it on this week. And so this week we are continuing the 7 pillars of family. Last week we went through the first 4, and just to give you an update on the first 4 pillars of family, we talked about number 1, that you're allowed to be yourself. We talked about number 2, that you're never alone. We talked about number 3, you're expected to grow and you're given the tools to grow. And we talked about number 4, that we fight for each other's dreams. And so today we're going to continue that conversation with the 7 pillars of family. We have 3 more to go through, probably the 3 most important in the pillars. We are going to go through. And then I just want to remind everyone that if you're watching live, you can comment and use the hashtag family, and you will be entered to win some fabulous prizes. So yeah, we're excited to bring you this show today. We're excited because these pillars are really important. As we said last week, these pillars are really important to us as we work with people to build family, but they're also incredibly important to us in our business. They're pillars that we stand up upon in our business that we run together. So these are things that we apply individually to our families, but we also apply to our work. And so when we say stuff like you're allowed to be yourself, you're never alone, you're expected to grow, and you're given the tools, we fight for each other's dreams. That's not something that is nice words that we have on a website. That's some stuff that we actually live out in our business and our professional lives. Our business, professional, that's the same thing. Our professional lives and also our personal lives. And so, just got to give an update on how things are going this week. I'm back in California. Had a great time of rest. And Sherry is obviously on the road moving. It looks like you got a bunch of balloons in the back.
Well, it's Emily's birthday today. She's turned 12. Woo, woo.
12 already?
Happy birthday. She's right there. And they have what they call Georgia milestones out here, and they get out at 12. So I was like, today's show was super important to me. And I wanted to be on. I wanted to talk. I love this discussion. And so, but I'm also a mom, and I have to pick them up. That's Destiny. And, I got mom responsibilities.
That's all right. So, that's what I love about the show. When we were doing it on KCAA radio back in the San Bernardino days, we had to be in studio.
Yeah.
I mean, one of us could be mobile because we always did the call in, but and there were quite a few times where I would hit traffic and not be able to get there. We got a comment right now from LinkedIn actually, and it's from MD Mobin Khan Jihad, and he says, "Hi, how are you?" Mobin. Awesome. He says, "I'm a professional digital marketer and SEO expert." That's pretty cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the like. We appreciate you coming here. So today, like I said, we are talking about the 7 pillars of family. Sherry, I'm going to let you hit this first one off. We're talking about pillar number 5, and that is that we celebrate the good times, but we're also present in the difficult times.
Yeah.
What does that pillar mean?
Well, can I give an example?
Definitely.
All right. One of our residents at one of our communities that I work at has, and she was at this community. She lived at this community for, I think, 2, maybe 3 decades. And so, like, as I'm in the community and I'm talking to folks, I'm in there sharing, that it hurts. And so her memorial service is on Tuesday. So I'm, going to go with whoever needs to go to the funeral, and I'm going to be there for them. And we're going to, and this is incredibly hard. And this, person was loved by the community. She was kind. She was giving, and everyone knew her for that. And so I'm just going to go, and I'm going to be there with them. And it's on Tuesday, and usually Tuesday is our Arts and Crafts Day, and that has been so much fun. So I'm giving you a contrast here. Like on Tuesdays, we have Arts and Crafts, and we have so much fun doing it. We put on the music, and we're getting creative, and we're dancing, and we're laughing, and we're having fun, and we're doing the Soul Train, right, Emily? She's laying down. And we're having fun, so we're present. I'm not on my phone during this time. I'm listening. We're talking. We're getting to know each other's lives, and we're getting to. One guy came in today, last week, and said he asked for a song. It was kind of like a Mac Daddy song, right? Like multiple women type of a song. And I was like, "What do you know about this, sir?" And I said, "Were you a player back in your day?" And he was like, "I actually was." And so we laughed, and it's kind of a cool little moment. And then I went out of the room, and I had to post some flyers. So I go back, and as I'm walking back, I hear everyone singing, and it was just so beautiful, and it was so fun to hear them having fun. So when you talk about being present in the good and in the hard times, now Tuesday, I'm sharing, instead of arts and crafts, I'm sharing a hard moment with them. And I don't have anything to really say. I'm just going to listen. I'm going to be there for them, let them cry, and that's what that means to me. And that's an example of what that means.
Yeah, definitely. I know that for me, I had a similar situation at one of our sites. I had a really, I went to this when we first started at our Summercrest site in National City. I made a friend there, and his name was John Dewar. And John was my buddy, man. Every time I would go to Summercrest, I would always stop and see John. I'd always stop and say, "What's going on? How you doing? How are things going?" Him and I, he loved finding new music or old music his childhood and music that he loved on YouTube. And so he would always have a playlist ready for, oh, Dan, he was from Scotland. And so he's like, "Oh, Dan, you gotta come in and listen to this new music I got from my childhood. You got to listen to it with me." And I remember just celebrating so many times with him. And there was this great picture of him, right? It's one of my favorite pictures. And it was from Valentine's Day. I want to say probably 2015. And it's a picture of John. And he was at our youth and family site. And he was teaching kids how it was on Valentine's Day. And he was teaching kids how to make empanadas, right? And so there's this great picture of John, this Scottish man, teaching kids to make empanadas, and there's these kids from all different backgrounds and cultures surrounded around him watching. And I was like, what a great picture of what it is we do here at ATAP. And I remember just celebrating those times with John. And then, of course, John was an older guy, and time came where he had a lot of health problems and he passed away. And, it wasn't necessarily at that point that I was with John during the difficult times, because John was gone. I mean, John was in a better place at that point. But I remember his family reached out to me and one of the other coordinators and just said, "Hey, you guys had a huge impact on our dad, and we really want you to come to his memorial service and celebrate his life with us." And so we went to Burbank to this Irish bar. It was funny because he's a Scottish guy. We went to an Irish bar, and we met all of his family. His daughter Linda from New York, who was a chef. I remember her specifically, and we celebrated. In those difficult times with the family that had lost their dad, we were with them during that difficult time. But also we were able to celebrate his life, and we get so many of those opportunities. And actually, in the comments right now, we have Robin, who is one of our regionals and one of our coordinators from the desert region. And she just said, "Love this." And I know that Robin has a lot of experience of this pillar exactly, right? She has a lot of experience celebrating the good times and present during the difficult times. Robin was able to she had quite a few of her residents that passed away during COVID. And she was actually able to go and fundraise some funds and put together a memorial for some of the people that had passed away. And so, again, celebrating the good times, present in the difficult times. And with kids, sometimes that's really, with the world we work in, sometimes that's really difficult times. A lot of us might not understand, but some of the kids that we're working with are living with their aunts and their uncles or their grandparents. And, they go through experiences where they'll come to us in the center, and you can tell something's off. And you go to them and say, "What's going on, man? What's happening?" And, "Oh, I had to go to court today, and my mom lost custody of us." And so we're there with those kids in the times where they find out they're not going home, that they're staying with their aunts, their uncles, or their sometimes their foster families. Those are really difficult things to go through. But what would it be if we just turned our back on them? We wouldn't be able to call ourselves family with them. If during those times we're like, well, too bad, I guess. And those are the hardest parts of our jobs. I feel like those are the hardest parts, but those are the most important times that we are there. And with our families, the same thing is true with our families in our personal life. This is the 7 pillars of family that we apply to our business, but we also apply to our families. Is, man, when family's going through stuff, you kind of drop what you're doing and you're there for them.
Yeah.
And I have some recent experience in that with some of the health stuff my mom's going through. And even in the process, we're looking for the opportunities to celebrate the good times. And so this is one of the, I believe this is one of the heaviest pillars that we have. And that is that we are there for the good times. We're there for the fun. We're there for the party. We're there for the graduation. We're there for the wedding. We're there for the promotion. But we're also there when life just crushes people. And as family, you got to be there for them.
Yeah. And kind of just to piggyback off of what you were talking about with kids, we kind of have a different way of kind of just working with our kids, I guess. And we've had some experiences recently at the center that I'm working at out here. And there are some kids that just plain don't listen. And, but we have a system in place throughout all ATAP communities that, where if they're not going to respect the boundaries, whomever, then they are asked to go home. Mm-hmm. And we've had a couple guest speakers come out recently, and they don't really understand our system. And so, and there's been some off days, there definitely has, but we look at it in a perspective of, we don't know what's going on at home, and that doesn't excuse the behavior. But sometimes people aren't used to boundaries, and sometimes it takes a while for boundaries to be respected, but that doesn't make the boundary nonetheless a boundary. And so we're consistent with boundaries. No, we can't do this. We can do this, but we can't do this. And if you can't respect the boundary, then we're going to have to ask you to go home for the day. And then you can come back tomorrow, and we're going to give you a fresh start. And we're seeing just with those boundaries, because it's a hard time. It's a difficult time sometimes when you want to give your absolute best to people and to kids in a community or whomever, adults, seniors, whatever, and it's not, I guess, appreciated or valued, or it seems to not be appreciated or valued. But there's still people that are in our lives for a reason, and we're just consistent with the boundaries. And we've seen some incredible turnarounds with just incorporating those boundaries with some of the kids. And the example is with our VIP was one of the things. And the kid he ended up getting a pair of shoes, like a Air Ones or something. I don't know. Is that is that a shoe? Air One. I'm thinking the radio station. Air One. I don't know. Nikes. Air Force Ones, that's what it was. So like you should have seen, he got those, and we knew what we were doing. We knew what we were making a statement and the reasons why he got that VIP award. And we seen just like that next day, that same day, kids asking, well, what do I got to do well, here's what you have to do. You have to, blah, 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 blah. So it's not the most easy sometimes dealing with kids or people who don't want to appreciate what's going on, but we still see them as family, and we can't give up on our family members, because would we want to be given up on? I mean, it's not something we just don't. They irritate us, yes. They get on our nerves, yes. But family, that doesn't change just because you have conflict. Your family, you figure out how to work it out, and that's not easy. Rarely is that easy, because it involves some tug of war of personalities sometimes. And anyways, I think about that when I think about present during the hard times too, because I don't want anybody to give up on me, and I don't want to give up on anyone.
I 100% agree. Thank you to everybody that's in here today, man. This is we're having a good showing of people we don't normally see. So Samuel Israel commented from LinkedIn, and he said, "Good day, everyone." So thank you for being here with us. Celebrating the good times present in the difficult times obviously is a building block for us that takes us right into our next one. And our next pillar of family is that we are stronger together. Now, this one, I know Sherry has a lot to say, because this is something that we've put on every piece of ATAP print paperwork, everything. It's been in email threads for probably the last 5 or 6 years, is that stronger together. And Sherry, do you want to talk about that briefly?
Well, so I don't take this topic captive. I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
So stronger together is strictly simply that the whole concept of what is that called? Why is it's on the tip of my tongue, where I can carry 50 pounds and you can carry 50 pounds, but together we can carry 300 pounds. Synergy, right?
Yeah.
The idea of synergy is that there is more that we can accomplish as a community, as a family, than we could do on an individual basis. In fact, like right before we started, I was editing a video on my phone. At my church this last Wednesday, I spoke on the concept of that our faith, a group of people's faith together moves the hand of God. And yes, individuals, God hears individuals, but God also hears, and we're looking specifically at, not to get too much into like Bible or whatever, but we're specifically looking at the healing of the paralytic man when they dropped him through the roof.
Oh yeah.
Jesus looks at the friends, and he says he was moved by their faith, not by the man's faith that was dropped in, but the friends that dropped him in. He was moved by their faith, and that their faith was the reason that man got his forgiveness and also his healing. And so I think that ties this idea of stronger together, that there's so much that we can accomplish when we're together, so much more that we can accomplish when we're together than when we're by ourselves.
Yeah. And I guess I want to be strategic in my points about this, but like, I absolutely love diversity. I think diversity is the most beautiful thing. I love listening to different languages. I love looking at different cultures. I love different ways of living. I mean, do I agree with a lot of different ways of living? Not necessarily, but I don't have to agree to respect and to honor people. And I think somehow in our society, we've lost the ability to respect one another. And if I do have something to say to someone about something that maybe I've experienced, I'm not going to gain their ears or their heart by trying to tell them how to live or what I think is right or whatever. But once we're together and we learn each other's motives and our hearts, and that we really do care, it's kind of like what people, what's that saying is, people will listen when you know they care. And so
people don't care until they know that you care.
Yeah, something like that. It's that type of a way. And I just think unity is so important. It's so important to me. It's so important to what we do at ATAP. Even unity amongst like kids, like, you don't have to, you can be mad at somebody and not say, oh, you're not my friend anymore. You could still be friends and be mad at somebody, and or have an entirely different way of of thinking. Like at some of our communities, like say Christmas time, we don't necessarily need to celebrate Christmas the American way. Let's celebrate Christmas the way someone else does. Someone that maybe doesn't believe in Christmas, and someone that maybe doesn't even believe in God. I mean, we've mentioned God, and I love God, but I love, if people want to know what I think, they have to ask me. I'm not going to just go around telling people what I think about God. I mean, I respect other people's beliefs, and I respect other religions, and I respect like people. And if someone so chooses, that's why like what we do at ATAP, people that know us know that, you know, we love God and we're Christians and stuff, but that's not the drive on what we do and who we are. Like we love people, period, regardless. And we want people to be together. We want people to, if they need to sometimes agree to disagree and stay together, awesome. If there are times, I mean, it's tough times when you can't stay together and we don't always know what to do. There are some situations where you can't, and that's a different topic for another day, but like, yet being together is important. Looking past our shells, our outward shells, is so important, and seeing the heart. And one of the things I absolutely love, I just love it. I love it. I love it. When I go from being the white lady to, oh, that's Miss Sherry. And it just, a kid called me mom the other day, and it just, I don't know, I feel like such a dork because it really just fills my heart and makes me feel some kind of wonderful way when we together, and you know, we don't look like each other, but they call me some type of an endearing family term. And it just shows me like what we're doing is effective and powerful. And we can respect each other and love each other. And truly in that, like, you know, kind of just like as a Bible story too, but like the Tower of Babel, right? They were in unity together. They were building something together. And then it got super tall. I don't remember the whole story or the entire point of that story, but I know they were doing things together and they were making an impact. And that's what I love about what we do. And it's my heart's desire to continue doing that. So I think that's all I've got to say about that.
It says to stronger together, and you kept saying together, and it just reminds me of one of our core beliefs at the church that we go to. They say that we're together.
Yeah,
we're together. Hey, look at that, we got James in here. James is on Facebook, and
James, that's my son,
big boy James.
He calls me mom.
James,
that's my Big Daddy. It's a joke. He knows when we talk. He's like, who's your girlfriend this week? He's like, oh, Miss Sherry. Got 3 of them.
We have a couple more minutes, and we have one more pillar, and that pillar is that we are unconditionally loved and accepted. And I really believe that this pillar here, this takes something that's more than just what you're giving. Right. I think that all the other pillars are, you know, you're allowed to be yourself. You're never alone. You're expected to grow. We fight for each other's dreams. We celebrate the good and difficult times. We're stronger together, but unconditionally loved and accepted. I believe that this is almost a requirement that you have experienced love and acceptance to be able to add that unconditional part. Right. Because when you're in a position where you're not, you haven't experienced that unconditional love and acceptance by someone, then it's difficult to give that. You can give pieces of it, but you can't give that unconditional part. And that's one of the main things in family is that, you know, I was talking with somebody earlier this week, and I said, you know, I know that I could do a horrendous crime. I wouldn't, but I could. If I was to, I know that there's people in my life that would absolutely hate what I did, but would still love me. And that feeling that I know that I have people in my life that no matter what, they're going to accept me and they're going to love me is one of the most empowering points of my life that I truly believe I can do anything. And it's because that I'm loved and accepted in an unconditional manner. And as ATAP, we want to give that. We want to give that to kids. We want to give that to families. We want to give that to people that may have never experienced that before in their life. We want them to know that regardless of whatever their behavioral issue is, whatever their situation, whatever their status, whatever their demographic background is, they are unconditionally loved and accepted when they come through the doors. And as well as our staff, when our staff sign up and work with us, that they are loved and accepted into our group and our family. And I believe that that's one of those ones that is found. I mean, obviously these are all pillars, so they're all foundational, but I believe this is one of the strongest pillars that we have, is that we are unconditionally loved and accepted.
Yeah, it's so true. And I've worked with people kind of like from all backgrounds. And so like people that know, kind of a little bit about me, they'll like maybe cuss or something, right? And they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, are you kidding? When I get mad, oh my gosh, like I could throw some bombs myself. So please don't do that with me. It's fine. You just be you. I love you where you are. Love me where I am. I overeat sometimes, and I do this sometimes, and I do this sometimes. But that unconditional love is something that's hard to understand.
It really is.
And sometimes people don't believe it's true or believe it can be true. But there are people, there are good people, there are wonderful people out there. And I can just, because I'm biased, I know we are some of those people. And there are others along in our team that are some of those people, or that are those people. And that's what we're in place to do, is do this. And is it easy? No, we kind of go back to that other pillar. Sometimes do you feel like a certain way, like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I should just, maybe there are times you do disconnect something. But again, that's another show, another topic, another thing. But like, it's real. Unconditional love is real. And it's powerful. And when you refuse to give up, you refuse to quit on somebody. And I know we're 2 minutes over. Almost over. So, but I just appreciate, I appreciate what we have. I appreciate what we do. I love it. I wouldn't want to do anything else with my life.
Yeah, me either. Even though sometimes greedy Walmart sounds super awesome.
So sometimes it just.
I would love to just say, "Hey, everybody, can I see your receipt?" Perfect. That would be awesome. But
thanks for coming.
I wouldn't trade this. Thank you so much for being with us today. If you enjoyed the 7 pillars of family, please share this with people. There's 2. If you didn't get part 1, make sure to go back and watch our show from last week, part 1. But thank you for everybody that was here today. It's awesome to see people participating, joining in the conversation, and joining with us. We're so excited to be here. And then if you want more information about ATAP, you can visit our website, atap-us.org. And we'll be back here next week with another show. We're excited. Don't have the topic yet, but just by watching for our social medias, and we'll release that here soon. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Sherry, for your insight, and thank you for your leadership and wisdom in this.
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate yours too. And Robin. And everyone.
And everybody.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. We'll see you later.
We will see you next week.
All right.